Hey, Planeswalkers, hope you're doing well and staying safe. Mythras here to bring you all things Friday night meta. As always, certainly excited because we have Kamigawa and a ton of changes. So if you've caught my new tier lists and meta updates earlier in the week, that's awesome. Today, we're going to give you a flyby for standard, historic, alchemy, and then obviously our historic brawl. And then we're going to go from there. So you can find that down below in the details. Appreciate your participation here today. Feel free to ask a comment or question down below. You can flip me a like, smash the subscribe, and off we go here. So with that said, here's what we got going on in standard best of one. And each of these will be in the timestamps down below for you. Mono white aggro right now leading the pack. We got Naya humans, Orzhov tokens, Orzhov control, Selesnya enchantments, mono green stompy, mono black control, and Rakdos sacrifice. Now this is an aggregate, and these are the top 8 most played decks with win rates accordingly. So let's go ahead and get into the more competitive scene. We still see the mix being the same, and let's go one more into the mythic space. Naya humans at the top there, mono white aggro, Orzhov control, Orzhov tokens, mono green stompy, and Selesnya enchantments. So this is the best of one outlook and outtake. Let's back out there of standard, and again 20% on Selesnya enchantments, which is quite a bit, even though it's still in the middle of the pack. And then we got mono white aggro and Orzhov control. So pretty interesting, starting to see kind of how things are falling into place. So we got to keep an eye on this as things evolve. Let's go to best of 3 here. Best of 3, we got mono green aggro, mono white aggro there at the top. Now again, this is still based off of a little bit further outlook, but the key differences here are the stuff that's new and updated that we can see here with Naya aggro, Orzhov control, Jund midrange, Izzet dragons, Esper control. We got Rakdos, green, mono green, and mono white. And again, this just really has to deal with the amount of data and information available still being relatively close to the release, and again being best of 3. So let's go ahead and we'll get some more competitive scenes, see if some of this stuff adjusts. Again, a little bit more in terms of what's happening here. We can see what's being played. Izzet dragons really taking off again. We see mono white aggro falling off, and we see Naya aggro falling off. So that's a big thing to pay attention to. And then as we get to the really competitive scene, just not enough data for this week. So let's apply that. Let's go back to best of 1 here. I forgot to show this. You can really see how popular Selesnya enchantments is getting. Mono white aggro is going sideways. And then again, some of these win rates there as well. So I did want to show that for you. All right, so that is best of 1 standard and best of 3 standard for you this week. Let's go ahead and check out Alchemy. Alchemy here, again, we're seeing some of these adjustments, again, due to the dates and popularity we can see. So Orzhov Clerics is currently running the show. We got mono red aggro, Orzhov control, Azorus control, Gruul werewolves, mono green stompy, Izzet mill still hanging in there, and Rakdos sacrifice. Again, very popular, Gruul werewolves, Orzhov control, Azorus control, and Izzet mill, and then Orzhov clerics there. So lots between Azorus control, Orzhov control, and Gruul werewolves. Pretty impressive. And then we're starting to see kind of how this meta is shaping up and how things are playing here in Alchemy. All right, let's look at the more competitive scene as we like to do. A little bit of changes. Mono red aggro doing well at the top there. Mono green stompy, but again, it's one of those older decks. Let's go to the competitive space in Mythic. Again, Gruul werewolves being the big one, as we know, has been very certainly popular. All right, best of 3, traditional ladder. Gruul werewolves all the way at the max, and not surprised, this is definitely what we've been seeing. So we'll get out of Alchemy here. We're going to go back to best of 1. Let's check out historic here in our flyby. Selesnya Enchantress being at the top, Selesnya Heliod or Squirrel Twin, Simic Merfolk doing well, Azorus Auras doing well, mono green elves, mono red aggro, and Izzet Phoenix, all for best of 1 for historic. We can see how these things are trending there. Heliod's coming down, some of the other stuff starting to pick up. We can see that win rate of Selesnya Enchantress starting to pop up. Heliod's win rate's kind of going flat. And certainly everything else is kind of going sideways as well. And then you can see what's being played a ton. Selesnya Heliod, mono green elves, and Izzet Phoenix, mono red aggro, Azorus Auras for that best of 1 scene here in historic. As we move forward in the more competitive space, we see a little bit of stuff moving around, but not a ton. Let's go to Mythic, and Mono Red Aggro is the big one in the Mythic space. Let's check out best of three. Best of three here, we have Simic Merfolk. Again, some of the stuff is a little bit older in terms of the data, same with Jeskai Control, but we have Azor's Control, Is It Phoenix, Golgari Food, Azor's Auras, Rakdos Arcanist, 5-color Niv, and then the corresponding percent played here on the right for historic best of three. We can see how some of this stuff's been trending. Azor's Auras been coming off. Simic Merfolk's doing really, really well. Really making this kind of U-shaped recovery in terms of win rate, which is pretty interesting. Again, but not being highly played in that meta, but certainly obviously a top 8 played deck. Let's go to the more competitive space. We see a few things moving around. Simic Merfolk popping out. Golgari Food still in the space, doing relatively well. And then you can see how everything else is doing there as well. Last but not least, we'll go to Mythic here. Mythic mainly being played by Azor's Control in best of three, and definitely dominating at a 68% win rate. So we'll keep that in mind. Last but not least, for those of you that enjoy historic Brawl, have we got anything new? We got all the old stuff here still. Satoru Umezawa, so that's a new one. Ishin Two Heavens is one, is also new. So these are just some of the key decks, but not within enough of the data space. And then obviously this goes back to December 9th. So that's cool to see some of these different changes. We can see it to Fury, Time Rover being a very high win rate deck. So that's a big one to pay attention to. We can see that at the 66% there. And then we can also see how everything else is trending. Gravetide, Muldrotha has really dropped off there at the cutover here with the new set, which makes sense because there were some changes and all those things, and opening up for our lovely Kamigawa is generally going to shake the pot for us here in historic Brawl, as always. So my friends, that is a ton of action that's going on here in Magic the Gathering Arena with the new Kamigwa Neon Dynasty set. Very exciting. I'm glad I could bring this to you here today. Flip me a like, smash the subscribe. Appreciate that support as always. If you get a question, if you get a comment, let me know. I'm trying to get through this fast because I know it's important for you. You can always hit pause and look at some of this stuff as well. So appreciate your time as always. We'll see you again soon. If you get a question, comment, let me know down below. Hop in the Discord server. Would love to see you there. And other great ways to support the channel. Thank you to the patrons and YouTube members as always, my friends. All right, till next time, Planeswalkers, we'll see you again soon. Stay safe, take care. Mythras out. Enjoy Kamigawa as much as I am, and we're certainly having a ton of fun in the Discord server. All right, Mythras gone. Out.